So I think that would be the plan.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, let's talk some offensive line here. The Steelers made some pretty massive changes. Troy Fautanu moves to left tackle. Mason McCormick moves to left guard. Spencer Anderson is the right guard right now, and Dylan Cook is the right tackle. I mean, we'll start with the changes up front. I think we eventually have to talk about Broderick Jones at the same time, though. Ray, I'm going to kick it off with you here, though, because you have talked a lot this offseason about Troy playing guard. He said yesterday he doesn't want to. I kind of feel like you feel differently here.
Now, he wants no parts of it, but, you keep hearing it. And the reason he doesn't want to do that, obviously, is left tackles make a lot more money than left guards. But it's something that has been discussed within that building. It doesn't seem like it's going to happen now. I think, Troy's kind of made his feelings known. They drafted Jennings Dunker. I think they have a pretty good plan now. I don't know all this stuff with the guards flip-flopping. I don't know how that's going to play out. But to me, right now, I think Troy is almost 100% certain to go to left just because rookie Maxi Onachor only played right at Arizona State. And I think you have Dylan Cook, who's a good swing tackle. He can play on the right side. You set it up so Dylan Cook can start. Max is going to push him. And then you put your best offensive lineman as Aaron Rodgers' blindside protector. I think it makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, I agree with that. Go ahead.
Yeah, the thing I don't want to see, is flip-flopping every other week. If you're going to make a commitment to Fautanu to left tackle, make a commitment. I don't want to see, 3 weeks into training camp, you say, I got to move him back to right because we need Dylan Cook at left. Just go with your gut, Fautanu, McCormick, Frazier, then see how it works out on the right side. If it's Anderson, if it's Dunker, if it's Hoffman, if it's Cook, if it's, I don't even know, Broderick Jones, I don't think they're moving back to right. I don't know where he fits in right now, but keep it as tight as you can because we know when you start flipping guys midseason, that becomes an issue. So, that's what I think they do. If they continue to do this, I mean, we saw 25 minutes of walkthrough.
Yeah, it's very true.
We're basing a lot off of that, but it seems like that's the case.
I agree with that. I think it's the first time they're looking forward in a long time. It kind of felt like with the offensive line, it was these are the pieces we have. How do they best fit? We'll worry about the later pieces later. And now it's here are the pieces we have, but here are the pieces we're going to have. How do we make this thing work collectively, now and later, which works. And that's, in my head, a way better plan.
I mean, listen, it's a new coaching staff, and we really have to keep that in the front of our minds. I mean, they're trying to get to know these guys. They've had conversations with all these guys. I remember talking to Spencer Anderson in training camp last year. He could not understand why he wasn't getting any reps at right guard the last couple of years. He felt like he was better at right guard than left guard. And then if you look at it, Mason McCormick played left guard exclusively at South Dakota State. The only time he ever played right guard was when he got to Pittsburgh. So maybe they're having these conversations behind the scenes. Maybe they're talking to these guys, and these guys say, hey, I can go over and play on that side. I actually feel really good over there. And so maybe they're just taking a look at things here for the next month or so, through minicamp and the final week of OTAs. And I agree with Mark. Once you get to training camp, things got to be not 100% set, but they got to be pretty firm. You got to have a good idea going into Latrobe of what you want to do up front, because doing the whole musical chairs thing in July and August, I don't think that's going to work out.
No, I agree. When it comes to Broderick, at least this is just me. I took this change for Troy as really the end of Broderick Jones in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't think you can get rid of him. I mean, he's
no, I don't think he's going to get rid of him, but I don't think he's going to be ready for the season.
No.
And I think the Steelers are preparing as if that's going to be the case.
Well, that's smart. I mean, they know more than us, and probably leading on more than us, of how difficult of coming back it is from that injury or that surgery that he had. So I think the offensive line, I mean, that's crazy that you got a 14th overall pick and you don't really need him right now. It doesn't seem like they really need him. Where I'm really if I was a Steelers fan, be excited about is this offensive line coaching staff.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a stud James Campen, who they all love. Then you got a finalist at Hall of Fame being your guard, or I would assume your interior guy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's significant, I think, to be able to get these guys quickly assimilated to the pro game and take that to the next step. You remember the last couple of years, awful starts to the season for the offensive line.
Yeah.
They can't afford that this year.
No, I agree with you. I really like this offensive line staff, and they got the tools to work with. I mean, they've spent plenty of draft resources, compiling these guys. It's time, finally, I think, for it to come together. And it's really important when you have a 42-year-old quarterback who's going on 43. We all know that he's not going to run around and make plays like he used to. To me, you're not going to be a successful offense if he's like 1.5, 2 seconds, the ball's out, like it was last year, right? Like they made that adjustment after the Jets game, after he got hit like 8 or 10 times in that game.
Yeah.
And they never really got back to saying, okay, we really do trust our offensive line. To me, this is a big training camp for the offensive line too. We talked about the quarterbacks. Huge training camp for the offensive line. They got to show that they could sit there and pass protect and not have all these gimmicks about getting the ball out early and, everything being the short game. You're not going to be an explosive offense if you can't push the ball down the field. And in order to do that, you got to have the time to do it.
Yeah. But it seems like I don't know about you guys, but it seems like to me they're setting up their offense to be more of a power running game than wanting to throw the ball down the field. Maybe take shots. It seems like everybody they brought in, their tight ends and their wide receivers and their big running backs, they want to run the ball. They want to run the ball with power and physicality.
What did Fautano say yesterday? It's a lot like Washington. We pass the ball a lot. So.
Yeah, and Michael Pittman said that too. I came here and the offenses we're going to throw the football a lot. I was like, well, Darnell Washington, DK Metcalf, and you lined up next to each other doesn't tell me that you're going to throw the football a lot. That's just not – that doesn't – I mean, we'll see. We'll see. But, I mean, at the same time, like Aaron doesn't have – and I don't want this to be taken as like Aaron doesn't have a great arm. Aaron's got the craziest arm I've ever seen in person. But Aaron doesn't have the arm that he once had. So maybe it makes sense to have a run and maybe not a run and gun, but like that West Coast style offense with a really power run heavy scheme behind it. I feel like that's kind of the mix they're looking for. So we'll see. Let's move it to the defensive side of the football here. Peyton Wilson made it known that Patrick Graham and his identity that he's bringing to the Steelers defense is the steel curtain. That's what he wants to do.